there's 3 badass motherfuckers, and 2 of them call me sir.
I put that in the show.
Yeah. And then the other one he told me is when he was a freshman in high school, it was his job to research and find out things about the other team that they could trash talk them. So he would like scour social media and stuff and find stuff like that. But one time he found a like poem or something to that effect, some paper that this linebacker wrote, and the entire offensive line would quote lines from that paper when this kid was in 5th grade. And he said this kid had no idea what was going on the rest of the time of the game. He was just
broken mentally.
He was missing assignments. He couldn't remember. They messed him up.
I actually feel bad for him.
Yeah,
because if someone did that to me, I would be kind of wizardry.
Yeah.
Well,
are we recording?
We are recording.
You do know that I asked you for one thing, and that was to tell me when you were recording, right?
I understand, but the show had to go on.
Dead air.
So.
Oh, Chad, by the way, the other day.
I want to get Ronnie's part.
Anyways,
so I was scrolling through this wonderful site. And it's called controller.com. And it is basically, all it does is have aircrafts for sale.
Have what?
Aircrafts. So.
Planes.
Okay. Well, I was like.
So Chad.
We should buy.
I was scrolling through controller.com, and I found this fucking beauty for you. It's a fucking beauty.
That 1971?
Yeah. So look at the price. Chad.
How many people does it fly? 2?
Looks like 2.
I mean, Chad, I'm going to go ahead and say 1, but I don't know. Chad, this is great, though, because now your dream can come true. You can become
I can fly myself to the events, and then you guys can just figure out how to get your asses over there.
But, like, I don't know if you know this. It's not like a car. You don't just get the license and go. You got to have hours. You got to become a pilot and stuff.
You're definitely flying.
So what I'm saying is, Chad, for $20,000 or 1,800 euros, 18,000 euros, you can own a plane.
I can see it now.
So what's stopping you?
I could deplitely see it.
That's what, like...
I can see, like, you guys pulling into the pans, right? Like 2 buses, students pouring out. And then my little plane...
You're going to land at the event.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right on the road.
Yeah,
right
that's
on
how
the road.
planes
And
work.
then I'm going to pop the window open
You
and
know
be like,
what?
the coach is here.
At that price, that's a disposable object. I say you jump out of the plane and parachute down to the event and then just let it crash. You buy a new one next event.
If we can record it, it's in.
Now, here is the key to these planes that I'm finding for $20,000.
Some shit don't work.
No. I would say worse. They are home built.
There
you go. Yeah.
I mean, the first airplane was home built.
That's
It
can't
flew.
argue with that logic.
Everything was home.
Now,
built.
could you
That's a craft airplane.
Why, like, so you really think that you could learn to fly a plane, right?
I mean, I definitely think I could learn.
And how long will that take you?
Well, depends what's logical and not logical.
2 or 3
What do you
weeks.
think logical is?
Logical's probably like 3 years of me doing classes.
And what do you think you can do it in?
3 days.
There you go. Another Jesus
Wait.
reference.
The Earth was created in what? 6?
7.
7?
Well, he
The
rested
7th day
on
was
the
rest.
This is going to be so good.
So, I should be able to fly a plane before that, right?
If God can do it, why can't you?
I mean, that's sound logic. All right.
I like where this went, Michael.
Welcome to the
Hey!
show.
But we can do anything.
In 6
YouTube.
days, we'll ask for your money back.
Guaranteed.
See, I have a new open for the show, and you just ruined it.
I did?
Yeah, I've worked really
Or did
hard
I
on
bless
it.
it?
So this is the this is the only show on YouTube that is about grappling in MMA for amateurs by amateurs who mainly talk about experts.
I like it.
You like it?
I like it.
I like that. It's shorter and quicker. The other
When do
thing
we
we're going to
become
start
experts?
doing is we are going to start introducing ourselves every single show.
Oh,
So I
nice.
am right here with Ronnie Putnam,
That's me.
who is the
But he didn't introduce
MMA
himself.
coach at Moequa and head instructor. I'm introducing you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shit, I can't wait for mine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Chad has to go last.
Yeah.
He's the host.
Yeah, that's right.
That was just to him telling me, "Hey, motherfucker, put me last."
Yeah.
Put me last.
No, I just like to see what
lots of
comes up with me.
gravitas.
Brendan Wells, a purple belt from Chad's Academy, and
Mostly useless.
You're not introducing yourself, okay? Shut the fuck up and let Michael do it.
Master Chad Hawkins.
Master.
What
Professor
like
who does
black,
fly
red,
everything right
red
now.
belt? What are you now? I don't. Anyways,
Coral
and
belt.
he is the owner and operator of many different jiu-jitsu locations that you can come and train at.
Fully support buying your belt online.
It's only like $19,
It's
probably.
only $19 or so.
Inflation.
There's a lot of people who have told me lately they're like purple belts in something and they can't name the discipline they do. It's very
Yeah.
strange.
That's
Anyways,
great.
all
That's
right.
great.
So we
When
have
I
a
first met
news.
Heath, I named myself a purple belt. He
Yeah,
found that
that's true.
entertaining.
Did
Yeah.
you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
How
never
did you
lived
How'd
that
that work
down.
out for you?
I had trained for like, I don't know, at that point, a couple
You're
years.
avoiding the question. How did
Yeah,
that work
yeah,
out for
yeah.
you?
It didn't work out well.
What did he say? Who said that to?
He just, you know how Heath, you can imagine, he's like, okay. And then I just got my ass beat by like
Uh-huh.
everyone in the
Yeah.
academy.
Yeah.
I remember getting my ass beat too when I was down there thinking, I was like, oh, I got stripes on my belt. They don't even have stripes on their belt. And I was like, oh, those don't fucking matter. Unless I could take that stripe off and choke them with it, ain't good.
It's a good idea.
We are doing news and notes. We actually have some jiu-jitsu to talk about today. We also have a new producer on the Heyyy Show. Austin is going to come on and he's going to help me with the scripts. So hopefully, like, the English gets better and, you know, like some of the coherency or
Thanks, Austin.
being coherent and whatnot.
And
So
like the rest of the show, it's an unpaid job.
It's an intern position.
It's an
It's
intern
paid.
position.
You guys made $1 each last month.
Hell yeah. That's pretty cool.
We're going places.
Nice.
Is that like thrown in some escrow that I don't know
Yeah.
about? 'Cause I haven't seen this cash.
Don't worry about it.
It's
Don't
coming.
worry
It's
about
there.
it. I'm investing it for you.
Yeah.
this
Your
is a
money's good in this
long-term
bank.
And
investment,
it's
sir.
gone.
Yeah.
It's
You
all in
heard Bernie
crypto.
Mac.
We're still a lot of negative right now.
It's
We'll
all
be
in crypto.
okay.
You just dumped
It's
all
all
of
in
crypto.
crypto.
Crypto's doing actually pretty good right now. So
We'll
There
move
we
on.
go.
it's doing
from
better than
that.
American
Take
banking,
away
that's for sure.
From PANS 2023, some of the big highlights. Marigali takes double gold.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Clay wins first gold medal at a major, gi major, by knee bar. Chad's, the person he believed in more than anyone in the world, Amy Campo and Fiona Davies both take silver.
Really?
Yes,
Fiona took second? Davis?
Yep, silver.
I didn't know
second.
that. She
Yeah,
wins a
absolutely.
lot, so that's who's she lose to?
These are questions that I do not have on my list right now, so just give me 1 second.
Okay,
I'll
you
look that
can
up.
Google that.
Tannen, who I always mix up with Kanan, but Tannen, Gabriella, and Cole continue their winning ways. Bastos wins gold. Adam Wardzinski, I can't ever say that name good,
Sounds good.
defeated Roberto Jimenez and Felipe Andrew, which that's
Is Roberto
Felipe Andrew,
Jimenez the
that's
guy
terrible.
that Couch heel hooked that one time?
yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a big win for him.
Yeah, he's a
That was like
really,
his biggest
he's a really
one.
nice guy.
Yeah.
We got a private with him in Vegas. He's super nice.
Yeah.
He definitely made sure that I wasn't indoctrinating Sun Unit to a cult. So that was great.
Did Andrew beat him one
Funny
time
part
too?
is you did.
Yeah, that's true.
What?
Did Andrew beat him one time too?
Yeah, what was that?
Like on
I
who's
think he
number
won.
one?
No.
Was it who's number one?
No, it was back before Flow even existed. It was
No,
back.
it was like,
Oh.
yeah.
He was
you're right.
15.
Yeah, yeah.
He was a green belt. He was like the next big star, and Andrew fought him, I think, for $1,000.
Was it that
He was super fighter.
oh crap. Is that one that Gordon Ryan was on too, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
And when Gordon Ryan was like a brown belt.
But I remember
and he
Andrew beat him.
lost to Felipe Pena.
Yeah, I
So
don't know
many
that.
people
What
Andrew
was that
has
called?
lost to, I feel like, so.
The sucky part is if Andrew has the confidence that he can beat that guy, he'll beat him. But if he gets in his head at all that that guy might be better than him, it's like he goes into a different mode. And I've watched that for a long time.
Alright. What was that? What were we doing?
Take away from PANS 2023. So I gave you kind of a list, but I mean, you guys can also choose off the board.
You know, I just realized that I needed to train a little harder this time.
You took third.
That was a good.
Yeah.
That was a good takeaway.
That's better than taking none.
It's slightly better than none, but you're
That's
right.
one step above none.
I just hated that the guy who I lost to 0-0 then his teammate forfeited, and then he
Yeah.
won the whole thing.
Closing out the teammate divisions does always suck.
Especially after a ref's decision.
Yeah.
Fucker.
The sad part is I was watching my video my second match, and I had that elevation that one time, and I didn't even think about it. I was really just trying to set up and get into a guard where I felt comfortable, and realistically, I probably should have sent that harder because he was straight up in the air, and I
Yeah.
probably should have like forced the backward roll harder. But I was just really trying to get into a good guard where I could actually get comfortable and start attacking,
Yeah.
and that was my one opportunity I think that I could have capitalized that I kind of shit the bed.
I know the feeling.
I know one thing that I'd like to get better at, especially for the bigger guys. The smaller guys don't need it as bad, but the bigger guys gotta learn how to play the rules and on advantages and shit.
Yeah.
Because that stand-up push-around game, that's just what it is. There's no getting
Yeah.
around it. You have to do it. There's only
Is there-
one person I know that can play guard at that level, and even he lost.
That's
so,
what I was going to
yeah.
ask. Is there any room at that division to be a guard player?
It's
Tyler Gordon's
so
gotten
tough.
well with it. He's done incredible with it,
But
but
then he went against that Art of Jiu-Jitsu, our dream team or whatever
Yeah.
that was. And
it sucks. It does suck. Like that's a 1% factor.
Yeah.
You're comparing your game
Mhm.
losing to a 1% factor. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know what other sport, but
it's also
you
the
could be an
adult
incredible
division,
quarterback that
right?
yeah and he could be in the Masters
That's what I
division
mean.
now.
Like he didn't.
I
he had
mean,
no reason.
And I don't think that guy like smoked him. I think he did okay against him overall.
I don't know.
He lost like
You
9
think
points.
he didn't take him serious?
I don't know. He didn't take Tyler
Yeah,
serious. He
he
passed
beat
him
the
at
brakes
will,
off
right?
of him.
I guess I don't know if he passed. I think
I-
it's just his game looked like
I
he
would-
just kind of soaked through situations.
I would
Yeah.
only go by his face because he looked bored.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
I remember him looking at his coach a couple times, just like, yeah, whatever.
I know. I mean, it's
Yeah, and it was nothing. And Tyler was doing as good as
Yeah,
he possibly could.
And I know how good Tyler is
Yes.
anyway. So
yeah.
He even-
Buchecha seems to be the only ultra heavy that kind of
did
came
he
in.
play
and-
guard most of his career?
He
Well,
could.
he played both so well. He could play either one. He pulled guard. Sometimes
yeah,
he
sorry,
wrestled.
You're fine.
Yeah, Buchecha's actually has a pretty decent.
Actually,
takedown game.
Felipe Andrew would be the one I would think of. that
Felipe
could play
Andrew,
guard.
but
And
but
he's amazing.
he
man.
can't play that at that weight anymore, right? Because he's
I mean,
lost so much weight.
He can. He
Yeah.
has, but I don't know. I mean, he just lost to Adam right there. So
Was-
I mean, I don't know.
Was that also the heaviest division that
Yeah. Yes.
Tyler was in?
Yeah.
And how close is he to the next one?
10 pounds.
It was
gotta be
He
bad.
told me less than
10
that.
Yeah,
pounds?
said he was like
incredible.
230 or 2.
10 pounds when you weigh 230 is nothing.
And that other guy had
It's
to
like
be
a
like
night in the sauna.
320.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, at least.
One night in the
Easy.
sauna. and that's it.
So
Yeah.
That guy was
yeah,
a
I mean
monster.
it's frustrating, but yeah, it's
What about at the weight division down? Do you think the guard has more of a place there, or is it
I
still
I
just
would
too
agree
heavy?
with that. You still see that, but
that
it
super
has
heavyweight?
more of a place.
Super heavies where you can. That's, in my opinion, that's the apex of jiu-jitsu.
yes.
Yeah.
Is that like where
Strength,
Marigali competes
flexibility,
at? Super heavy?
Probably one down.
Heavy?
Medium
like
heavy?
190, Yeah.
Heavy.
Heavy is probably it. Super heavy is.
Because
the one
obviously
I
the
call
guard
it
works for
apex.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In the gi, that's another thing. Like, cause I would like if that was a no gi match, Tyler Gordon would have a lot better time going against that guy
Yeah.
because that guy could just get a grip and then it's done. When you have the grips, man, size
I said that about my
matters.
match too.
Yeah.
That guy had that sleeve and that collar, and he just didn't let go.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
how
I'm
I
like,
felt when that guy
I
had-
either have to just completely give up the most worst thing in the world and fight out of that, or I just
That's
get
kind of how
stalled
I
out
felt.
there.
He just had my pants and my collar and was just like balled up there.
That's a reason that I've really focused on no-gi lately. No one can really do that. It's
It's not the same. They
it's
can't hold
prettier
you in that
art.
position.
and
for
it
sure.
sucks, when you got a guy that's fought in the gi and he's like 20 years competing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's possible. You could be competing. I mean, a few people I've ran into now have been a black belt for 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I just know that I know every submission to look out for, and I know if I get these two grips, I'm good.
Yeah. And at that point, your hands are so fucked up that when you get those grips,
Yeah,
it's
you
not that you can't let go, or it's not that you want to let go. It's you can't. I mean, these are my grips.
Yeah.
You have to break them. Please break them so I can go to my
I
next
have
match.
to break my own grips here. Now you can.
Okay, we're good.
So I was gonna do predictions for Worlds 2023, but we legitimately did like the self-masturbatory thing, and we just talked about ourselves. So we're just gonna skip past that.
Ourselves matter.
Exactly.
No one cares about Nicholas Marigali.
That's true. Yeah. So
I
Mika.
could definitely beat him in a middle match.
Galval.
I'm just hoping
Galveo.
he shows
I don't know
up.
how you say it. It's one of those
Galveo.
two. But Mika, I always say Mika. He's actually legitimately probably my favorite person to watch too now.
Yeah.
Stripped of IBJJF world title and banned for 1 year.
I like how 2 weeks later they're like, what did they post after that? 2 weeks later,
Well,
they're
they only
not
ended up-
testing anymore.
That was
That was
April
it.
Fool's.
It
That
was
was
an
a
April
joke. Okay,
Fool's
that's
joke.
good to know. You
Yeah.
know what's really
I fell
anymore?
for it too. I'm not, normally I
do-
would pile on
the
because
only-
Chad did that, but I fell for it too.
that every smart person I know fell for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Tina like
They
was like,
sold it
"Look,"
well.
and I
They
was
did.
like, you have to read it, and it just is a huge shot at ADCC. That's all it is.
That's
So-
funny.
I don't know
Um,
why, but some little part of me always finds it like, yeah, fuck you. Whenever people get caught for cheating like
Yeah.
that.
So this is the first producer credit that I'm going to give Austin. So he had some questions. I think they're really good questions. So, but basically, what I wanted to say was Mika was stripped. Ty now is the youngest IBJJF world title winner.
Do they send him a new medal in the mail? Like,
Yeah.
how does that work?
Sketchy.
So Ty and
Sca-
Mika were the finals.
Atos doesn't do anything. What does this mean for the sport of jits as a whole? That they're actually actively going after people.
I mean, they are, but it was such a slap on the wrist, right? They only banned him for, they said a year, but it was like contingent on his, whenever he failed back then, so it's really only like 6 months or something, right?
You still lose your title though.
loses his title.
He still has the medal at home. He doesn't give a fuck.
No, you have to send it back in.
Do you?
100%. Andrew had to send his back in.
I
and
know
he didn't get
Andrew
to
did
beat.
10 years ago.
I don't know
but
why it would change.
I don't know if they're hounding Mika Galval for his medal back.
Yeah.
There's also.
I'd like to see that.
There's
Yeah, I'd be intrigued to know.
also Several of the people that were popped were from fight sports.
They
Yeah.
also only test the first place guy. Like, maybe they should test all the podium.
I don't know. I've heard it both ways.
I thought it was podium, but I didn't.
I thought it was podium too.
I thought it was just the first place guy.
Which means Ty Rotillo. Was it Ty and Mika in the finals?
Yeah.
And so, because it's funny that Kanan got popped, so technically Andrew should have been put first.
I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not gonna say it.
Do it.
Well, if it was first and second, and we're in jiu-jitsu, they would have had to fought each other for first and second.
Kanan and Andrew?
Moving on.
Over my head?
I missed that one too.
No, Mika was first, so then Ty becomes, because he had silver, he's now the first place, so obviously they had to fight each other if it's first and second.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, never mind. We're going on. Moving on.
I'm sorry.
Plowing through. Plowing through. All right. So what he asked what it meant for the sport. Does it set it back? Does it raise questions about the legitimacy of the techniques Mika used, or is this, in his words, I could do that too if I was roided out in my mind?
No. I don't care how many roids you take, you're never going to be on the same technical level as Mika Galval. I mean,
Yeah, and I don't even know. Like, the stuff that he got popped for, it doesn't
it
improve
was,
a huge deal,
I
right?
think it was an estrogen blocker, which means he was taking it coming off of a cycle to,
Yeah, it's a masking agent.
Oh, okay.
So there's no actual.
but it's a telltale
Yeah,
sign that
yeah,
he was
right.
on a cycle.
So
Gotcha.
what the post was that, of course, this is a post that almost all of them make. So I don't know how legitimate it is. It's like, well, my doctor put me on that because it's supposed to help me with this, and
Yeah.
It was a
you know,
fertility drug.
right.
I get it now. So he got popped for trying to cover up whatever he might have been taking.
Yeah.
Well, to get his hormone levels back to normal, because when you come off of that shit, your body's just
Yeah.
flooding you with like estrogen and shit. I think so.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of those people are on it.
It's
but,
the dirtiest sport in the world. I think jiu-jitsu.
I mean, I don't
More
know
people
how.
per capita are on fucking drugs than any other sport. I feel like.
Realistically, I just think you have to qualify for points to get into the IBJJF Worlds and Pans. You should have to do a drug test.
I think so too.
I don't know why that would
That's
be
fair.
so hard.
No, I
You
wouldn't
know,
know.
like
Super expensive.
it's super
Yeah.
expensive.
I think it's incredibly expensive.
What's the cost?
I bet
I
it's
think
like
those-
$1 million a month or something to have USADA doing tests for you like that. They're like the
Oh,
highest
you're talking
level
about
of
USADA?
anti-doping.
Oh yeah, God, that's Olympic.
Yeah.
That's Olympic testing.
So could you get a different company to do?
But then it's like,
There you
you know,
go.
people are
That's
already
the
cheating.
company.
People are already cheating the USADA system. They found ways around that. They're gonna find ways around lesser organizations.
It just sucks
too.
because like, how do you get these idiots to say, we want our sport to be better, but we can't pay $1 million to set these these settings in
Why don't you
place?
just not give a shit about
Isn't
it?
USADA the
So
one
you
doing
think
the
just
testing
let it
anyway?
run free?
mean, it's already doing that. So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence of both, but it sucks
ADCC
being
has no requirements.
Especially the Masters division.
No,
I
the
mean,
Masters is horrible.
Everyone's on the sauce except me.
So where do you find the balance? I'm perfectly okay with either, but it sucks being in the middle when your finals matches is someone that's not on and someone that is on.
I guess this is the only place I did not want to go.
Okay.
Because I just don't. To me, it's a silly argument.
But
Yeah.
no, I don't think the fact that you took the drugs makes your techniques any better. That you could be on drugs and eventually get to that same level of technique. I just think it supplements how good you already are in your recovery and your ability to just train every day.
That's the biggest thing is the recovery. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
biggest
who
thing.
made that argument one day where it's like, yeah, it doesn't change you in that match, but like when you get to do, let's
It
say,
does, though.
50
It makes you
rounds,
stronger.
right? But like, let's say you get to do 50 rounds in the training room, but because you're injured and you're not on something, you only get to do 10.
yeah.
Well,
You know,
just
for 6 months, that's a huge.
Also,
Right.
just imagine like when you're in your third or fourth match of the day.
Yeah.
You know, like
And
I
you recover in
guarantee you
5
that shit's
minutes.
helping.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're want these superstars to have longevity, that's what it's got to be, or else they can't have any longevity in the sport.
Yeah, you're definitely not going to have
Yeah,
30-year-olds
Mika Galvao is
surviving.
already on steroids. And He's
Yeah.
like 19 or 17 or whatever he is. When he's 35, he's gonna be fucked.
It would
Right.
also explain why women don't have the longevity that men do in the sport.
That makes sense too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
I mean, all of those things would make pretty
Yeah.
good sense. Who was the fucker who was in High School Musical?
Oh, Zac Efron?
Yeah, have you seen him lately?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
he's injecting horse steroids into himself to play the.
He's starting to remind me of that
Jack
guy from
Efron.
Grown Ups.
Which one?
You know the guy that walks up by the pool? He's like, "Hey, ladies!"
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen him forever.
I like that one. The guy from
that could be
Saskatoon.
Zac Efron's
He's-
dad.
Did you ever see him in that Baywatch remake they did?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
he was
yeah.
just like
Yeah.
fucking
No, he
shredded.
looks bigger now.
Yeah, he's like big now. Then he was like looked fit and shredded and stuff.
He's
Now he
playing
looks
in-
like
he's playing in a
his face
wrestling
is different
movie.
now.
Yeah.
Like his whole face
He's
changed.
in a professional wrestling movie about the Von Erichs.
Yeah,
and he
you're right.
looks like the Von
Oh, yeah.
Erich. Oh my god! I looked down and I was like,
He's
who
got
the
that.
hell is that?
He's got that hot dog colored skin. just
Oh
like
yeah,
Hulk
yeah.
Hogan.
It is incredible.
I love
But
it.
the reason I say that is because in movies, like we wonder, like how does Chris Hemsworth look like this? Because they're all doing
Yeah,
that.
they're
Every single one of
100%
them.
on steroids.
And in baseball, it doesn't help you hit a baseball. It just makes you stronger and makes you be
you have
healthier.
to train every day
Right.
Yeah. So
to your best
again,
potential.
You can hit the
Jiu-Jitsu.
baseball further, though, right?
I guarantee.
If you get contact with
I
it.
don't know.
I guarantee
I
you
gotta
it's giving
think
you
that's
some.
got
I
it.
don't believe in that.
People can bench press more when they're on steroids.
It's
So I
got to
think
be
there's a
like there's
correlation
some
there,
muscle
power.
that's creating in
Ronald-
there.
Ronald Acuna weighs like 215 pounds and hits like 500-foot home runs. He
Right,
just,
but like
Yeah.
remember Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa that era where they were fucking jacking home runs and then they stopped whenever they stopped doing the juice. I mean, there's something there. It might not be 100%.
I gotta think it would be more.
My
There's
my
something.
theory on power hitters, like anyone can hit a home run if you got bat speed. So that's why your shortstops, your those guys,
Right.
they're more slap hitters because they got bat speed, but they can still hit a home run. With a power hitter, they don't swing the bat as quickly because they can't swing as quickly. But when they meet resistance, they push on through, which is the theme of the show. But I mean,
I love
if
that.
if you are swinging the bat really quickly and you may hit that resistance, normally it stops a little bit and it's hard to get that
Right.
follow through.
You
But
get
if you
that
got that
bounce
power,
back a little bit,
yeah,
yeah.
if you don't get any kind of pushback, that's how you can drive it through. That's what I was always thought.
Baseball is the only sport where I don't think it helps. I think it helps pitchers more.
Baseball is
than
one
it
of the
helps
only
hitters.
sports where I don't care if they're on it. Like
Yeah.
fucking
Oh,
let them
yeah.
juice to the gills.
I don't care if
Give them
basketball
aluminum bats.
players
I don't
do
give a
it.
shit.
I don't care if basketball players do it. I think it's inhumane that we don't let football players do it. Since they're just wrecking and killing their bodies.
Football is such a crazy sport, man.
Yeah. I mean, the only one that's more barbaric is MMA. That's the only other one.
And I don't even know if I would agree with that. I think football might be the most.
It's the
hard on
boxing.
Your body.
Are we
argument.
eliminating soccer, or not soccer? Hockey.
Hockey's pretty brutal too. That's
It
that's
is,
a good.
but I don't
yeah.
think you're
Skills
having as
more of a
many
skill
collisions
sport.
as
Yeah.
football.
Yeah.
Football,
I
your
don't know,
brain
they
is
collide
just getting
pretty good.
fucking.
We have a
Gelatinized.
producer now who is an offensive lineman, and I know that they did testing and they said that playing the offensive line is the equivalency of being in a car accident.
I can
Yeah,
see that.
every day.
Every
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
That's
Which
what
I
I
mean is incredible. They said professional wrestling CTE is double that rate.
Well, and think about
Really?
whenever like,
yeah, because they take a lot of bumps.
and just think about those guys who make it to the NFL. They've been playing football since they were kids, and your brain is like not even formed
Right.
fully until you're like 23 or 4.
Yeah,
or
you're
something.
just colliding.
And you're just fucking your brain up every day.
Boxing is the only one who's done a long-term study on CTE.
Mhm.
I think it's the worst sport.
Yeah.
MMA, they don't have any long-term data because the UFC will not allow them to do
Right.
long-term data on that because we don't want to know exactly. But again, I say it a million times over, they're signing up for something.
I also
Yeah.
think in boxing too, a lot of it you're doing a lot of sparring, and I mean in MMA obviously too, but in boxing it's all localized basically to your head.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
wearing
you're
headgear.
right.
Your head and
you're
your
wearing-
body.
You're wearing
Yeah.
big gloves. You're not really feeling the impact as much, but it's still rattling your fucking brain around in there
Yeah.
Oh,
all
yeah.
day, every day.
I would say boxing and football are the two top for sure. I
Yeah.
don't think
MMA
MMA is necessary because you can avoid when you
Well,
train. You're like, okay, you
There's
know,
grappling in MMA
Yeah.
too.
right?
Yeah.
But
You know?
even when you're sparring, a lot of times you're not trying to like always hit somebody in the head. You're trying to clench or hit the
When you
body.
have
Or
those smaller gloves too, you're more conscious about breaking your hands. You're not throwing it with 100% force
Right.
every fucking
It-
strike.
It makes sense, but again, there's not been a long-term study
Yeah.
on
Right.
MMA. That's the only one that they have not been able to do data on. Boxing is the
I mean, I still
one of
think
those.
MMA's of course cause a trauma, but I think it would be like
100%.
football.
Well, football's
Boxing.
repeated. Like
Yeah.
it's just repeated
Yeah.
over
Football's
and
so
over.
scary
And
to
then
me.
at one point, like they were actually giving rewards for the bigger hits you had and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Now,
And then even just
it's
beyond
worse.
like the brain trauma in football, your rest of your body is getting demolished too. Your knees and
Yep.
your everything. So
100%. No, I think the biggest thing from this that I see from the Mika thing is, I think it sucks he got stripped of his title. I think it, it is what it is if he did it or whatever. But
he definitely did it.
dude, well, for sure. I mean, he actually admitted he did it,
Yeah.
and he said, but I do question a little bit of some of why he got popped out of everyone, and I will always question that.
Like
Yeah.
I said, I think they just test the winner.
Was
I could be
was
wrong,
Mika
but-
fight sports before?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
That's the link.
Yeah,
So
fight
he
sports
popped,
definitely got.
what, 4 fight sports people,
Yeah, they definitely got hit hard.
and then they had another scandal. So
Ever,
then you
yes,
might
it's
say
all.
that-
It just feels
go
like they're
away.
targeted right now as an
Go away.
association that it's.
Yeah.
So I don't know. All right, let's go on to happier things. One championship. So me and Ronnie went to Texas, and we sat down and watched a lot of one, and
Yeah.
there is some major grappling at one going on right now. Tammy Musamechi wants a match with Danielle Kelly.
Is it a man?
Tammy Kessler.
Was that
Tammy was
Is that
an
a man?
annihilator, I think.
Annihilator.
Kelly?
Yeah.
No, it's a
100%.
woman.
Okay.
It's just
That's
a
Mikey
fit-
Musamechi's
It's
sister.
I
basically
know
a
who Tammy
fitness
is. I was
model
saying the
who
other
does
person.
jiu-jitsu.
Danielle Kelly's like this pretty
Oh, you
girl
said
that.
Danielle.
yeah.
I thought it was Daniel.
Oh, Danielle. Sorry.
Okay.
She's just this pretty girl, but I don't think I mean, she's had success, but I don't think it's like world class. Like I mean,
She can
she's-
do legs.
You know.
But not at the level that a Musamechi can.
Yeah, I don't think she
Yeah.
has a chance at that match.
They come out.
Here-
They come out of the womb just on the umbilical cord, starting to.
She fought a Japanese MMA fighter who was older, and it was a replacement fighter for Danielle Kelly, and got stuck in scarf hold, just squeezed the shit out of someone's neck
Mhm.
for 4 minutes.
Who Danielle Kelly did?
Yeah.
Squeeze the girl and
No,
scarf?
the Japanese MMA fighter literally grabbed her head and just held her for 4 minutes. Couldn't get the tap.
Oh.
And she won because she attacked the back and went to a rear naked choke for maybe 30 seconds, which, again, I think that's just Danielle Kelly gets the win. But, yeah, we all believe, right, Tammy just murders her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even a match.
Yeah.
This
This will be the one we fight about.
Yeah, this is the one we're going to fight about because there's only going to be one person that capes up for somebody. The Riddler fights Ty Rotullo.
I don't really know much about the Riddler.
The Riddler had a grappling match against Andre, and he held his own. And I mean,
Galbao?
yeah, and he
drew.
did not. Yeah, it was a draw.
Oh.
I mean, and he's an MMA fighter. He's a big guy. He's strong.
Yeah, he fights at heavyweight and light.
Yeah, he's. I don't know, man. I don't know if
I guess
Ty
I,
can tap
I
him.
wonder what Ty and Andre's match looks like. They have to.
I would
train.
like to see that.
That's the
He's
question.
so much bigger than him.
Yeah,
And
that's the word.
Andre. So much bigger than Ty.
I don't know if that's possibly true. Now Ty did
Oh,
great against
yeah,
Marigali.
Hold on. Yeah, that's true.
But
Give me one
Ty's
second,
like,
I'll
what,
find it.
160 or
I
65?
think Ty's like 180 right now.
They actually have it up. Give me 1 second. And then
Andre's
there's
like
there's
220 or 30,
I thought
right?
Andre's like 185 or
Oh,
195.
okay.
He's small.
Yeah, he's short, and but
He
that's
clearly
also
shouldn't have
the
been fighting
problem.
Gordon Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, but that's also the problem, man. I mean, a short guy. The Riddler's a little bit taller, so that does give him Ty access.
Who's
to
the Riddler
legs.
fought?
He's only fought in one, but that's his biggest acclimate for pure grappling. It's the only grappling match
Like
I think
he's
had.
How would the
was
Riddler
against
do against
Andre.
Nicholas Marigali or
I think Marangali would beat him.
Pena?
That one might be closer. And
I
one,
thought Ty did great against those guys, you know. So it's like, man, it's
I think the theory is though, because he's not like a world class grappler. He's an MMA guy that's a good grappler. If Ty doesn't tap him, is that a win?
yeah. I guess Ty's so hard to hold down that I don't know if you could hold him down and keep him down to win
Right.
the decision.
Yeah, he would have to. And how one works, it's all about submission attempts. So will Ty
I
win
think
it?
Ty's-
I think Ty probably will win it, but I don't think he can tap him, which I think is kind of a notch
His
in
output's
the other
nuts,
guy.
though. Ties.
Yeah,
I also heard those boys are training for MMA now.
yeah, they've been training for a little bit.
I watched them scrap the other day. I mean, they're definitely.
I didn't
good.
know this either, but I saw Ty, I believe, do like a combat jiu-jitsu one time too. I think he won. But
So, I will give you the next one, and then I'll come back to the
Okay.
stats on that. I apologize. I knew I should have saved that. The other one is Mikey Musumeci versus Osma Marwa. And
not like a
Chad
sambo
would be
guy
the
or
only
something?
person that would know this person.
Why would I
He's
know?
he's like a big jiu-jitsu person.
Yeah, come on. This is the one thing
I
you bring to this
legitimately
table.
had no clue who he was, but they gave his accomplishments, and it was a lot. Like,
Who's the guy's name?
yeah, right there. Sorry. I found the graphic, and for some reason, it's on a video.
This is helping. This is helping.
Close.
I figured your ADD brain would do better when I move it around.
Normally it would, but
But you're serious right now, so
Yeah.
you can't have that.
so what's going on here?
he's an Atos guy.
Man, those are some brows, bro. Woo!
Okay, you want to hear the size matchup between
Yes, please.
the Riddler and Ty?
Yep.
The Riddler is 6'4", 205,
Okay.
and Ty is 5'10", 170.
It's a sizable
So
difference.
That's a
now I
sizable
can go
difference.
ahead and give my take.
Okay.
The Riddler taps him.
You think the Riddler taps him?
I just don't know enough about him to have a
He
quality
cannot do
opinion.
his style of jiu-jitsu where he doesn't care about positions. The Riddler will literally just smash him.
Is it no-gi?
Yeah.
Yes. And it's catch.
I don't know what that
So
means.
if he doesn't, I think he wins clean. But I think he also taps him.
Wow. I like to see it. I don't.
He was making fun of Andre's leg locks.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
laughing.
But Andre's really not known for his leg locks. The only thing I would tie is that catch rule is what are they going to consider legitimate submission or not?
I would say that the what he will, if Ty this goes into what is Ty going to do? Is he going
Right.
to sit or is he going to try to stand with him?
Yeah.
If he stands with him, I think there's a chance the Riddler gets to his back. Especially trying to pin him against the cage or something like
Yeah.
that, because we haven't seen that yet.
No.
We've seen people use the cage,
Right.
and they were the first ones that try to run off the cage.
Right.
So they may be like, "Oh, well, I'll go against the cage because I'll do something flashier."
Right.
And he may be like, "Nah, this is MMA. We're just gonna hold you here,
Right.
and I'm just gonna wear you."
You can slam too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that that's my prediction. I probably would be the only one who picks it, but I
It kind of
think he
sucks because sometimes I'd like to watch our talks play out.
You get to. This is a future matchup.
Yeah, this is a
Is
future
it?
matchup,
Yeah, that's all. These are future. Well, this one's a one that she wants. This is a future matchup, and that's a future.
I know you guys created this shit.
Brandon gives me 2 or 3 looks a show, and that was the first one for me. It
You're
was just
welcome.
like, cool.
Ding.
When's this play?
So Mikey, Chad did not find anything on this other guy, but
I found a lot on him.
He's actually a real guy.
Yeah, he's an Atos guy.
Yeah. He's a real guy.
But I don't think you could beat Mikey.
Don't you think
know either.
also in a competition where you can slam somebody, the bigger guy has a gigantic advantage?
Yeah.
I also think there's a point where if he puts a triangle on him or something like that, he just.
Now that we've
picks
had
him
this
up
talk,
and
I really want to see this match.
Just
Yeah.
Demolish.
Yeah, I really
Oh,
want to see
what's
it
even
too.
better? It's not even on the card. It's on the prelims.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's not even like an important match on the card. That's
Wow.
what's crazy about one. This card is for May is
Is that on the May card?
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's just the whole thing's packed. I mean, you're gonna see Stamp, you're gonna see Rotang.
Are they gonna do a normal one then, since it's gonna be in America? Because how they do it now is they have the main card first, and then they show the prelims because that's how.
Yeah, they're gonna show the prelims. I know. I think it's on YouTube for free. So that the Riddler fight will be up there, but I think it's a prelim fight.
Man,
which
when is it?
Insane.
May 5th.
So but those are the big names that are on it for just grappling. So I wanted to kind of go over those.
May the 4th be with you.
Now, this gets us
Fifth.
into our
Revenge of
next
the
question.
Fifth.
And Brandon did not like how, Austin did not like how I worded it. So I'm going to go with his wording.
Okay.
All right. Which current or former MMA person or Jiu-Jitsu person do you think would benefit most from the rule set in one? My question was, what matchup or fighter would you like to see in one? He took it a step
Yeah,
further.
that's a
Which
good
current
question.
or former fighter do you think would benefit from the rule set in one? So in MMA, the only difference is that you can knee down opponents,
Mm-hmm.
which is obviously
And you
massive.
could
So
Kick the head,
Peter
right?
Yan.
Yeah. The other one is in you could have Muay Thai kickboxing matches,
Mhm.
Muay Thai with 4-ounce gloves.
Yeah.
And then the grappling is submission only, 10 minutes, and it goes off of catches and it goes off of submission only.
I
Yeah.
think George St. Pierre would dominate all those facets.
I think it would be fun to watch him in all of those different things.
Yeah.
I would like to see him in a Muay Thai fight just to see what he could do.
Yeah, he would be fine. he would be fine.
I think he's a great
most of them.
grappler too. And
But yeah,
if
he
he
is
could
a
get
good
people on the
grappler.
ground and knee them too. Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
he would thrive in the MMA. I feel like they got some high enough quality grapplers that he wouldn't thrive in it, but he'd still put on a good show. And I think Muay Thai wise, I don't think he would thrive in it, but he'd still put on a good show. But in MMA, he would thrive.
The
in that.
mixed rules matches though would be interesting.
Yeah,
For
he would
him,
be
like,
great in a mixed rules match.
like a super leg
Mhm.
versus him, and then he has to survive that 3 minutes of just ungodly kicking.
Yeah, that's super Lex kicks. I mean, he throws so many and so quick and so hard.
I feel like George's game was all about the jab, the feints, and the
Mhm.
takedowns. It's like he mixed all those in
Yeah.
so great.
Yeah, and but with him being a smaller guy, those Muay Thai guys will eat him alive with teep
Yeah,
kicks.
I
That's
could
the
see
only
that too.
like a kickboxing though. Like he'd probably be a little bit better off there. Just and it's a slight rule difference between Muay Thai and kickboxing, but I feel like he would do a little bit better in kickboxing than he would in Muay Thai.
But in one, kickboxing looks like the people that are like, nah, Muay Thai's too much.
Yeah,
That's always what it looks like. It's always the Italian guys that are
Uh-huh.
the kickboxers, and I always laugh at that. Anybody else you'd really like to see in one? I think Peter Yan would be the number
Peter Yan
one.
is a good.
Now
pick.
we get
Just
scared.
because he fouled that one
Yeah.
time.
Well, it's also because he's just on this horrible losing streak. He's lost 4 or 5 matches in a row, and the only one that he really lost was the last one. He got wrestle fucked to death.
Yeah,
40 shots in one match.
I would like to see Nicholas Marigali or Gabriel Souza, I think, on one.
those are good picks.
I think
It's-
right now I don't know what they're doing with the grappling. I think they put a lot of eggs in the Gordon Ryan basket, and I think now they're struggling to attract more people. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is, to be
Yeah.
honest.
I don't. Obviously, Gordon Ryan would win, but his style is not a 10-minute style. His style's a 30-minute style.
Yep.
So
I think Nicholas Marigali would have a lot of action depending on who he fought. It'd be
Yeah,
intriguing
I
to
agree.
see.
yeah, he would be good in a grappling
I feel like
match.
a lot of the people that they have right now are guard players, so I think Gabriel Souza would play a good top aggressive game.
Is there
Yeah.
a world where Gordon and Nicholas can meet in the finals at ADCC? Is that possible?
Well, yeah. I mean, right now they're splitting the weight class, but they could easily go to the same weight class.
All right. So let's get on to our. Sounds good. Let's go on to our last topic, and that is the Henner Gracie stuff. Me and Chad legitimately watched a 1 hour video last night on all of this stuff. Or are we done recording?
Do you want to go over that in this show or next? Because we're at 40 minutes.
Next show's a mailbag.
Next show's a mailbag.
We
No,
could-
let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and end it, and then we'll start. We'll put the inner stuff later.
And yeah, we could tap it on the 55.
Yep.
That's pretty short.
That sounds
All
good.
right, Ronnie, what's the ending line?
You want me to do mine? Okay.
That means Chad
I
wants
need
to
you
talk.
guys to look into the camera and sell your heart out.
We're talking to you, the fans that are watching from home.
So a sign off works. I say it and then we stop.
Oh.